This video is going to be another iteration of One Play Wednesday. We're going to focus on Roquan Smith's excellent example of secondary QB contained from an inside linebacker position against Jayden Daniels. This is going to be a critical 3rd and 8 late in the fourth quarter of the Ravens' 30-23 win. The play actually occurs while the score is still 30-20. Washington facing a 3rd and 8. If Roquan's not in position to make this tackle or force Jayden Daniels out of bounds, it's quite possible we're looking at a different result on Sunday. I believe if Washington goes down and gets a touchdown to close within 30-27, they very well may onside kick to put a lot of pressure on us in terms of fielding it, knowing that if we don't recover it, they could potentially win. We're going to get the film started with the all-22 angle first. Again, it's a 3rd and 8. We're up 30-20 late in the fourth quarter. I think just inside of 4 minutes remaining, but I could be wrong. Roquan is lined up as the trip side or field side inside linebacker, which is typical. We're in our dime alignment. Kyle Hamilton is the dime linebacker to the boundary. Oweh goes for the sack upfield, unable to corral Jayden Daniels or even touch him. Matabike is also a little bit locked up, so he's not able to redirect or reorient towards the quarterback. And you got all this field down here. I don't know about you, but when I saw this happening live, I was worried that Daniels had an angle. Roquan eliminated the angle, number one. Number two, didn't go for the fake by Jayden Daniels. Basically forced him to continue expanding, running towards the sideline, and just stayed on his inside hip. I will give you the end zone angle in a moment. Just a little bit of a head fake by Jayden Daniels to make Roquan think he should be worried about something possibly happening in the middle of the field. Roquan didn't go for it at all. Tempo Daniels on inside. You've done this drill if you're an inside linebacker hundreds of times, probably millions in the case of Roquan Smith. I thought it was a brilliant play, albeit underrated. He did get credit for a tackle. I understand. If people want to say, Coach, I don't think that's a really substantial play. It's a 3rd and 8. If you're able to prevent him from getting enough, well, first of all, if you're able to keep him from getting enough yards that maybe allows Washington to go for it, that's a good thing. Number two, this forces them to go for a field goal. So even if something horrible was to happen on the kick return or on our offense, we're still up 7 and theoretically don't have a chance to actually lose. I'm glad that we didn't allow them to retain possession of the football here with the possibility to go get a touchdown and then looking at an onside kick that really could have changed the momentum. Oweh goes for the sack. Roquan is just inside the hash, and you'll see when number 3 runs by him, he's still staring at the quarterback. We understand that's what we're going to do at this point on the inside hip. So you're 1 yard inside the hip and then running inside out, tempoing or matching the pace of the running back. In this case, it happens to be a quarterback. That's a drill that you do with inside linebackers, and you do it at different angles. Sometimes it's a flat angle, so parallel to the line of scrimmage. Sometimes you're closing ground while you're doing it. So your effort level, your speed, your percent speed might be different than the quarterbacks or the running backs, I should say, in the drill. Notice where he is in terms of the leverage on the inside hip the whole time, staying there, not letting Jayden Daniels juke him and then bring this back to the middle of the field where theoretically there could be more space. And in fact, there was. Our pursuit was a little bit elongated. The routes were deeper down the field. I think this could be an example of kind of what Todd Monken has talked about before with Lamar, whereby you call 2 plays at one time, meaning you call the pass route such that if you have to end up scrambling, there's going to be more space available. Look, this is a 3rd and 8. There's the line to gain. The routes have taken most of their guys well past the sticks, and I think that's intentional, to give Jayden Daniels the opportunity to scramble with more room, more space, as opposed to if there was receivers here, here, and here, let's say, those 3 guys' routes was moved up because they were going to go for it on a 4th and 3. My point is, I think this makes it an even more impressive play from a Roquan Smith standpoint, and I think the Washington Commanders' offensive staff knows it because they tried to put him, or whoever our second-level defender was, they tried to put us in that position where we were, quote, outmatched from an athleticism standpoint. 4-man rush didn't work in this case, even though we had Oweh and Van Noy on the field. Roquan Smith takes care of it. Of course, it results in them going for a field goal to close to 30-23, so they have to kick off at that point. I don't know about you. I thought we were close to blocking this one, just like we did block, in fact, the one at the end of the second quarter. I'll have a One Play Wednesday out late Wednesday night about that one. Have to address this play. We can focus on Chin hitting Lamar if we wish to on this 3rd and 1, basically last play of the game. I think we take a knee twice after this if we want. But at some point, you got to kind of blame yourself for some of these things. So we are tasked, Isaiah Likely, with selling this guy that's potential for a route and or blocking him. Well, we're certainly in position to do so, carrying him up the field, and then we lose him. Should Lamar get out of bounds? What should Lamar do? I mean, from a time standpoint, I don't think it would have been a big deal if he runs out of bounds. Jeremy Chin continuing to play football, knocking the snot out of Lamar. Obviously, I'm not a big fan of from being a Lamar Jackson supporter and someone who wants to see him and will see him one day raise a Super Bowl trophy up. But Likely's got to do a better job here. Likely's got to stay on this guy, knowing how important this play is, this moment is. I don't think that there's a great opportunity for Lamar to slide here. And in fact, I think if he does slide, he opens up this possibility that the ball is marked short and we end up being a 4th and 1. In my opinion, this may be the best option in this situation. Should Lamar sprint to get out of bounds so he's running forward and I believe the clock would stop? I'm not sure exactly how much time was left there. It's difficult for me to put myself in Lamar Jackson's shoes there. There's not much space on the sideline. And we can talk about Lamar slowing up or Lamar sliding, all you want. I don't care. I care about executing what you're tasked to execute here such that Lamar can actually slide in this area here because this defender is locked up somewhere up here near this NFL logo. What I'm describing is if Isaiah Likely did a better job blocking down the field. Anyway, hopefully I explained that in a way that makes sense. Does it piss me off that the dude laid an extra shot on Lamar? Sure. Because we don't want to see that happen. We don't want to see him get hurt. We don't want to see the accumulation of shots bother him. But in terms of whose fault it is, Isaiah Likely's got to do a better job blocking, in my opinion. Fortunately for us, we probably go for it on 4th and short anyway if we don't get it. I really don't fault Lamar at all for the decision that he made there. If he was to slide, I don't think that's a good decision. If he runs full speed, he runs out of bounds, the clock stops, I presume. So in any case, that's my breakdown of that play and Roquan Smith's very, I think, timely, smart, and disciplined example of being a secondary QB contained player, staying on the backside hip of the quarterback / running back. In that case, happens to be Jayden Daniels, a very quick and explosive player that Roquan Smith was able to corral and get out of bounds, fortunately for us, and force Washington into a field goal, helped us preserve the 30-23 lead and eventually get out of there with a win. Appreciate you guys' time. If you enjoyed this look at Roquan Smith's play on that singular moment, then please let me know in the comment section, number one. Number two, the reason why I was able to conduct this is because I just completed a large-scale film study on Roquan Smith that'll either be out late Wednesday night or early Thursday morning from a film study standpoint on YouTube, so look for that if you think that would be exciting. Appreciate you guys' time. Let me know what you think of the video in the comment section. If you believe other Ravens fans might enjoy this content, the film study look, detailed look, hopefully, at Roquan Smith's secondary contain on Jayden Daniels, then please consider grabbing a link to this video, sharing it out on social media to help this content get more reach.